Hello Gemini, this is Victoria and I'm here with your January tarot forecast. As always, we'll be looking at your love life, your work and career space, and we'll get you guidance on how to best navigate the energy of the months of January. At the end, I'll post some messages from your person of interest to yourself, so stick around for that. I will also pull a quick oracle card from the Sacred Traveler deck to see what is the theme for this month, what do you need to focus on or keep in mind. All right, with all that said, this reading is for Sun, Moon, and Rising Gemini. So if you're checking this for a sun sign, please check it out for other placements as well. And of course, if you're new, welcome. Please subscribe not to miss any of the readings during the months that I'm going to be doing around energy portals, lunation events, etc. And there is more information in the description box about my services and my content. So Gemini, your message for the month of January is rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. How important and cool is that? Just think of it for a moment. You know that this is something that's already present in your life. You don't need to do any additional work for it. This is reaping the fruits of your labor and enjoying them, right? But it's important to feel that way. A lot of times, a lot of us have imposter syndrome when opportunities come through. We don't necessarily take full advantage of them in a good way because somehow we don't feel like we're there yet, or we just subconsciously play it down or decide that for one or another reason it's not the time yet. I'm not there. I'm not gonna be a success here, so I better not even start. Right? So this is for you to change that frame of reference and understand that if opportunities are coming in, this is part of the blessings and you're supposed to accept them. So for your personal space and love life, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I like this steady progress card that we're beginning with. The Emperor, this is Aries energy. You could be dealing with an Aries. And the Empress. Wow, that's a power couple energy. I will speak about it some more after I'm done with the spread, but this is Taurus energy, so could also be dealing with Taurus. For your career space, you have Page of Wands. You have King of Swords. And Four of Pentacles. Lovely. And finally, the advice. Page of Swords. Knight of Cups. And Temperance, which is Sagittarian energy. All right. Bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles. So yeah, maybe you felt for a while that things just aren't working out your way, that you aren't lucky or unlucky with something, whether it's love or career and abundance or both. That somehow, you do fair amount of work and you put in the effort, you do your intention setting, but somehow it's just not working out. So you're starting to get yourself into the mindset of like, oh, this isn't meant to be. Or I don't think this is ever going to happen for me, so I might just as well stop wasting my time. But now the universe is showing you that it just wasn't the right time for it. I just read this message on Instagram, I think it was from Gabby Bernstein, that the universe has only 3 answers for you. Yes, not yet, and I've got something better. Right? So it could have been, I've got something better, it could have been not yet, because certain aspects of life or certain events and circumstances had to play out first before this was fully possible, especially if other people are involved. Like if you know for sure that that's the case, right? It's a lot of orchestration of everything coming together. All right. So let's get to our power couple. We started with Knight of Pentacles, by the way, and then we've got the Emperor and the Empress. So whether this is completely new or you've been with this person for a while, you're starting to see why you're such a great match, right? Or maybe you'll get more confirmation why you're a great match. And it's not because just of a gut feeling. It's not because, oh yes, we kind of finish each other's sentences in a conversation, right? This is definitely a much deeper dive into creating legacy, essentially, into leading by example, other people looking up to you, following you as their role model. Maybe you didn't know that about yourselves and somebody tells you, and now you know. Could be even over the holidays, when we meet up and catch up with people that we're not necessarily in touch all the time. And maybe it's a friend that you haven't spoken to in months, and you find out that they've been watching every piece of your content, or I don't know, reading your blog, every article in it, and they've been following it, and it's been life-changing. But you never knew that, right? And now you know. And yeah, it's going to be happening for the both of you separately and together. This kind of, maybe you had nudges before, but this is going to be very loud and clear. The only thing I'm going to say is don't rush into, like, you may get excited at this point and be like, okay, so let's make a big change in our lives, so we can be more focused on this legacy creation, on serving the humanity, or whatever it is. So maybe you're looking at it as if kind of like accelerating your own life. It's important to take it slow, right? To pace yourself, because every step matters. And even more so when you have such a big presence, big personality, lots of capacity and energy, and are able to create a big impact on this world, right? It's important to get it right, because there are so many stories that we know where people got famous, got popular very, very quickly, especially online. We know it can happen easily these days. It's not a fairy tale anymore. It's part of our reality, but they just weren't ready to hold that space, that energy, and act accordingly, right? Not to mention that as we are building our spiritual business, we can call it, or any kind of that service work, we're also doing work on ourselves, and you can skip steps here. So don't feel pressure to necessarily act on it right away. Again, enjoy the moment, savor the moment of finding someone who is on the same wavelengths with you, that kind of soulmate. Then for your workspace, you have the the Page of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, two very different energies. They could be working with someone younger, much older. There's definitely a big age difference here between the Page and the King. There's also a different approach at things. The Wands is more of a kind of like curiosity and following the flow. The Swords is more like, okay, I'm gonna calculate my strategy, have a contingency plan, do risk management, and then I'm gonna go with what I want to build, right? A lot more carefully, a lot more calculated. There may be a temptation to do that because there's a lot at stake, because you're just getting started, something like that. There's a logical explanation to it, but here actually you're being told that there is benefit to both of the views, and you don't have to do either or, right? And by the way, this could be you and another person, or Swords kind of looks more like Gemini, since you're an air sign, and air is represented by swords in tarot. But it doesn't have to be, really. You might as well be playing this Page of Wands role in this situation. But whatever it is, collaborate with this person. It's not about, okay, I'm gonna do things my way, or whoever, gets to say the last word. No, you can come up with a solution that will incorporate both, right? Or if you can, then again, take it slowly, but don't play small just because of, some kind of precaution, or because it went badly for someone else. Like, do your homework for your specific situation, for this specific time, for your product or service, etc. Don't just put it on the umbrella term of like, that's not how things work in life. That will be a mistake. And finally, the advice, you have the Page of Swords this time, the Knight of Cups, and the Temperance. I like the progression between Page and Knight, to be honest with you. I also love this card of Page of Swords because of how big the sword is. It's like too big for this person, right? And it may feel like you're stepping into the conversations, into the meeting rooms where you don't feel like you match that, that you match up to their level. But, if you continue moving with an open heart and, you're expressing your authentic self with your ideas, thoughts, and decisions, there's nothing that will stop you, really, right? And you're more than qualified for whatever is coming your way, whether it's personal or professional. But we all get worry, we all get anxiety, we all get cold feet, especially as big things are approaching. And we've already seen that you have some big blessings showering you. So don't miss those opportunities and accepting those gifts from the universe just because you got cold feet or anxiety, right? So it's important to continue working on your awareness, on grounding and balancing your energy, on making sure that you're not stepping too much into the polarity of either the feminine or the masculine modality, and you're not stepping on your own feet with the ego and with, again, quote unquote, how things have been done so far, or what usually works. That's not that territory. You are being put in a situation where you're supposed to be an innovator and a creator. You're supposed to have leap of faith. And if you're just going to be employing the old and trusted methods, you aren't really going to expand that way, if that makes sense. Okay, last but not least, message for Gemini from their person of interest. Message for Gemini. All right, we have King of Swords. Look at that. Looks familiar, right? Well, I mean, this looks like it's a King of Swords that your person is, but who knows? Clarified by Ace of Cups and 10 of Wands. Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting here, I don't know if their person is also an air sign, or at least they are a very logical person, somebody who has a structured mind, who likes to kind of like work with what you see is what you get, right? I wouldn't say that they lack imagination, but they don't want to rely too much in their life on imagination and belief. And what is happening, there is a moment where they are like, there's a lot going on within them and they can't reconcile it by themselves. So they have a lot of love for you with this Ace of Cups, that's for sure, but there's also a lot of burden in day-to-day life that they're dealing with. And it's almost like they can't allow themselves to enjoy it properly because they're so logical. Their brain keeps going into solving problems. It's kind of killing the vibe for the way that they could show up in this loving space, both giving and receiving love with you. So they can definitely use a hand here. They can use your guidance or reassurance that whatever issues are happening, that you're working as a team, you're partners, you will be able to deal with it. And by any means, any kind of challenges don't mean that you're not supposed to enjoy moments of love and kindness and gratitude and appreciation for your loved ones, your partner, your family, right? So bringing them back into the present moment and reminding them that they've got a friend in you. I'm getting this rephrased Toy Story song reference. I don't know why, but it is very important, if you ask me, that more than anything else and before anything else, you and your life partner are friends, close friends to each other. That's how it should be in my view. So makes perfect sense to me. But reminding them never hurts, because of course we know that a lot of times people don't want to burden their loved ones with trouble, especially if it feels like it's somehow personal and related to them. So it's important for us to remind them that, they have our support and we're there for them and we can deal with all of these things together, one day at a time. Remember, the first card was Knight of Pentacles. No rush at this moment. Take it one step at a time and one day at a time. And the solution will be illuminated and revealed to you as you progress taking aligned action. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for being with me, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.